right, guys, anybody still here in our team chat? We are now moving to our YouTube chat, so please do check out that. I'm live at this point here, but yeah, if you guys could maybe post in Discord, because there's still quite a few people in our team chat, just get them switched over to YouTube, and I'm going to exit our team chat right now. Hi, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay? Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so we've made a few slight improvements to our system since the last AMA, and I have a little bit of a better work area to work with you guys in. I have an office which is soundproof that my child cannot enter. And yeah, it's great to have you all here. What we want to do today is go over the actual Safecoin Validators which are being launched. We just got out of a team meeting. We always have a team meeting on Sundays at this time. We had it an hour earlier, and anybody was welcome to join. We posted it in our Discord. And we've kind of agreed that we're going to do our validator launch just near the end of this AMA. So at this point, what we have is we have about 7 or 8 validators running on the system. And we are just getting our stake and rewards going now, which is great to see. And now that we are starting to feel confident in the staking rewards, it is a really good time to actually release the validators and get everybody set up. Just for transparency and clarity on this, I might actually, one sec here. Just for some transparency and clarity, there has been staking ongoing on the network since we went live, and none of that staking has been claimed. So just again for clarity, on May 9th, any excess Safecoin will be burned. So anything that was earned in the process of setting up the network will also be burned, and we'll do that live and show everybody. So you don't need to worry about anything that was earned up until this point. But yes, the earnings do work. That is a whole other process, which we'll probably go over with people for the next few days here. But at this point, you know, what I'd like to do is just sort of answer questions about the validators and help people get familiarized with how to get set up with the validators and support the network. I'd like to start off by saying that, you know, just for clarity, we are more than a validator coin. We do have some fantastic validators. They're novel. They're never before seen in crypto, how they're set up. And they're based on fantastic Solana technology. But Safecoin is first and foremost its community. All of the people here in this chat and all of the people who make Safecoin what it is are the people we have to thank. Definitely, we are community first coin, and that's what it's all about. Secondly, the validators do serve a purpose. So we're looking to achieve considerable accomplishments in decentralized finance, and we're going to be showing you guys that starting this week. We're going to be moving our development over to working on the decentralized exchange, which we're going to call SafeSwap. And the decentralized exchange will be based on chain on top of Safecoin. It will run everything on the decentralized exchange will run based off the Safecoin chain and in Safecoin currency. So the validators are a vital part to our success because they give us this nice, stable, decentralized chain where we can perform some of these DeFi functions off of. Now I'm going to stop talking and read some of the questions. And again, thanks everybody for joining. I really appreciate it. Okay, fantastic question. Is total supply going to be inflating past 36 million on the new network? The answer to this is no. Safecoin was launched with a promise that it would never have more than 36 million coins. Now we are at the halfway point through the swap. One of the things we're going to be doing today or tomorrow is sending out an email again to all SafeTrade users, reminding them. So, we'll be working with SafeTrade on this to remind everybody that the swap is now halfway over. Now, at the halfway point, literally almost exactly 50% of our supply has been swapped over at the halfway point, conveniently. But we do not. Now, keep in mind that includes the pre-mine as well. So the 4 million pre-mined coins were also swapped over, and yes, those are still all in existence, and none of them have been sold. So those were created 3 years ago, and they still sit safely. Now, to get more to your question, we are still maintaining that Safecoin will never be more than 36 million. Our intention at this time is to stay with our current emissions. Now, what that means is if you stay with your current emissions, and some people have lost Safecoin over the years, our max supply is going to be less than 36 million. So it's too early to tell you what our max supply will be. We won't know exactly until May 9th, but it's going to be less than 36 million. So our max supply is not going to increase. It's actually going to decrease. Potentially, it's going to decrease by at least 1 million coins, very likely more. And these are coins that have just been lost over the years, or people that we're just not able to get in touch with. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. I mean, we're a very young project. The store value needs to be with people who are active in the project at this stage, at this early stage. So we're trying to get everybody involved, try to get in touch with everybody. If you guys know anybody who ever had Safecoin and might still have it, definitely let them know about our swap. 1 month to go, and then we'll know our max supply, and it's going to be less than 36 million, potentially a lot less than 36 million. Okay, next question. That is also a fantastic question. Thank you very much. Next question is, will SafeSwap have its own token? So we are going to be releasing SafeSwap this month, and we are very, very excited about it. The validators play a vital role in providing the security and decentralization we need to have a successful DEX launch. The intention right now is for SafeSwap to run entirely off of Safecoin. So when you look at other decentralized exchanges out there like Uniswap, etc., they've created a separate token and done a token release. And people, obviously got very excited about it, bought the token, and that token served the sole purpose of administrating that decentralized exchange. SafeSwap is going to be launched as its own separate entity, much like SafeTrade is right now. SafeTrade is a separate entity based out of St. Vincent, where they currently had a volcanic eruption. And SafeSwap will be similar. It's going to be a separate entity from us, but it will use, at this point, the intention is it will use Safecoin as that store value. So instead of having a token launch, we will use actually Safecoin to manage it. And fees will be at a Safecoin. Withdrawals would be at a Safecoin. Deposits would be at a Safecoin. Now, this is still something that's still actively debated in the community and our team. There's still a little bit of time left. There are some people who want to see a token launch, and of course, we're always open to debate. And we are also going to be speaking with lawyers, etc. So this is something people are free to discuss, but the intention at this time is that Safecoin will be the sole token for how SafeSwap operates in terms of all fees, in terms of all administration rights, everything, in terms of voting. Crypto Gamer, what is the yearly inflation rate set at? Now, this is going to drop over time, but currently our inflation rate is sitting at just above 7%. Now, we've run some calculations on the new chain. We actually did not need to make many modifications from Solana because Solana and Safecoin very conveniently have almost identical emissions right now. So the old Safecoin and the new Solana literally have emissions which almost match up. And for that reason, we didn't have to do a whole lot of work there. So we're sitting at just above 7%. And what it's looking like right now is on the new chain, roughly 6,500 Safecoins are created per day. So you guys can kind of do your calculations based off of that. You're looking at the creation of about 6,500 Safecoins per day. How much of that goes through proof of stake? All of it. So the validators and the voters, the people contributing to the proof of stake process, 100% of those emissions go to them. There is no dev fee, there's no nothing. It all goes to that process. Okay. I'm going to stop talking for a second, just give you guys a chance to ask any more questions you might have. Thank you. Well, I give you guys a second to think. This gives me an opportunity to point out my fantastic Safecoin shirt. We did actually have these for sale at one point. We're probably going to be doing that again. We'd like to set up a shop that actually accepts Safecoin as payment. So it was kind of somewhat taken offline. I think you can still find it somewhere. But yeah, they're pretty nice shirts actually. I'm starting to wear it, and it's one of my nicer shirts. And hopefully we can. Now we're gonna have to make some new integrations, but hopefully you'll be able to actually buy swag like this with Safecoin. All right, more questions coming along. People are tired of my t-shirt talk. Okay, full rewards won't be active for another 28 days, though, right, Jeff? So actually, they will be, and this was something we promised. And so the reason why the full rewards will be active, and so they're actually, to be honest, they're active right now. So far, only one node has been earning them, and the only reason for that is because we haven't given out instructions yet. And that node is going to burn them, just to be clear, though they're going to get burned. But they are working right now. And the reason we want people to start earning on the new chain is we really need everybody to be swapping over to the new chain. It's really important to get people swapped over onto the new chain. That's kind of where we can have our success. And so for that reason, we're moving incentivization over to the new chain. You guys may have noticed safe nodes are not as actively maintained as they were. On May 9th, we'll stop supporting them. And we'll be giving out a block height soon on exactly when that will happen, but it'll be on May 9th. So yes, you can earn on the new chain. And That we want it that way because we want people moved over. What kind of advanced features will SafeSwap be offering initially? A lot. Okay, well, I'm going to answer your question. I will say that you know, this particular AMA is about the Safecoin Validators. So I'll try to answer mostly validator questions today, and we're going to have several AMAs about the SafeSwap DEX. But to answer your question, first of all, SafeSwap will be the first fair launch community run DEX which runs instantaneously. So that means when you make a trade on SafeSwap, that trade is completed the same second you make it. And that means it's irreversible. You make your trade, it's irreversible the same second you made it. Just like if you were on Binance or anywhere else. So it will literally be the world's first fair launch based decentralized exchange which does this. In addition to that, it would be capable of incredible scale. Most decentralized exchanges, if you push them, like if you start doing automated trading and you push them hard, they will fail on you. They will simply freeze up, and that's because on-chain processing is hard, and most of them are single-threaded. Now, we're based on multi-threaded technology, which means that literally SafeSwap could handle the entire load of Binance and not have an issue. So the entire load of Binance probably is around 150 transactions per second right now. So that's, you know, somewhere around 15 Bitcoin networks is what Binance handles. We could handle somewhere around 500 Binance exchanges on our chain, to put it in those terms. So you could take 500 exchanges the size of Binance and run them all on SafeSwap, and they would all run fast and without issue. So that's what the multi-threading does. That's another advanced feature we will have. Now we also have, now there's a ton of questions. I'll try to hurry up, sorry. We also have an Ethereum bridge, right? So the Ethereum bridge means that anything running on Uniswap, for instance, or all the Uniswap competitors, any ETH-based token can run on SafeSwap on day one, right out of the gate. They just move their coins over with MetaMask, plop it into SafeSwap, and start trading much faster. And another advanced feature, of course, is almost zero fees. So the fees are not even noticeable. Compared to what you're dealing with on Uniswap, we just don't have those issues. And the reason our fees are so low is because, you know, Ethereum has to have high fees because they have too much demand for what their network can handle. Our network can handle 100,000 transactions a second. So demand's not an issue for us. No matter how much demand there is, the network can handle it. So our fees can be super, super low. So that's another advanced feature. On top of that, SafeSwap will have an advantage over most of the other decentralized exchanges because it's going to have an integration with SafeTrade. Now, this is going to benefit SafeSwap, SafeTrade, and Safecoin. We will be setting up the ability to wrap coins on SafeTrade and send them to SafeSwap. So what this means is you can withdraw your Safecoin, or you can withdraw another coin. Now, of course, we do have to give us a little bit of time to finish all that integration work, but you can withdraw whatever coin on SafeTrade in a wrapped tokenized form and trade it on SafeSwap. And likewise, you can go from SafeSwap to SafeTrade. So that means we can have far, far, far more variety than a typical exchange can have, and it's much, much easier to get people on to decentralized finance using SafeSwap, because we already have that set up. I'm going to have to talk faster. Okay, so those are some of the decentralized. There's more advanced features, but I'm going to stop and move on to relevant questions. Sorry, and thank you for the question. Will delegated staking using a mobile wallet be supported in the future? Will SafePay support the new Safe network? Okay, so those are two fantastic questions. The delegated staking will be available on a mobile wallet. We're not quite there yet, but we're close. So this is an advanced feature that both Solana and ourselves are working on. Solana has one mobile wallet which does support staking, and they have more coming online. We are also going to be supporting that. It's something also that third parties are also looking at, like Vigilum's looked at that. We are talking with Zelcore as well. So we've had one meeting with Zelcore already. We're going to have another meeting this week, and ourselves we're going to be setting that up in SafePay as well. Now, will SafePay support the new Safe network? Don't have an answer to that quite yet. We are looking at potentially putting out a SafePay version 2. So not willing to make an official statement on that yet, but we are potentially developing a SafePay 2, which is where the new Safecoin will reside. It is technically possible to get it working on the old SafePay. It is a lot of work, and we are looking at some more advanced wallets. So much like we decided to move away from the old chain, we're also looking at our mobile wallets and saying, okay, where are we at? Do we want to develop this further, or do we want to adopt newer technology? So there's going to be more information coming out about our wallets very soon here. We've always cared a lot about mobile wallets, and we're going to care about them more than ever in the future. And right now we are just at an assessment phase with the mobile wallets to make sure we make a good decision moving forward and give everybody the accessibility they need, including staking. Kevin was going to be on with me today along with the rest of the team. We're still getting ready for that. It's a big step for us, and I think you guys are going to be seeing more of Kevin and more of our team shortly here. I'm very excited to have them on. That way I can sit back, relax, and watch the AMA with the rest of you. Kevin, how would validator staking work in practice? Will agreements be made in Discord or through a staking website? Okay, so a fantastic question, Kevin. I think the first thing I want to say is that validator, now you mentioned, so the validator staking, the first way to, so in order to stake, you need to delegate funds. Now you can either delegate, so we're going to provide instructions on that. Not all of that will come today. Today will be instructions on setting up your validators, getting ready, and then we're going to have staking instructions follow up with those. Now, the question you're at, so the actual validation process, in order to stake, you need to delegate. Two ways to do that. Number one way is to delegate your own funds. So if you have 10,000 Safecoin, which by the way is an important number, that's sort of the minimum number you'd want to try this. You can delegate your 10,000 Safecoins, and your validator will run and should run profitably based off the calculations we've done at this point. Now, on the other hand, you can also have other people delegate their funds to you. So say you're running a really good validator, but you don't have as much Safecoin as you'd like. You can have other people delegate funds to your validator. Now they get staking rewards, and you charge them a commission. Now, we're probably going to set up a website for this as well as Discord, Kevin. It's a fantastic question. I think we need both. I think we need the website and Discord. I mean, obviously, the website's more universal. Everybody uses websites. Not everybody uses Discord. But I like because of our strong Discord presence, I think we'll probably have both tied together. Now, just to be clear, all of this happens on chain. Okay, so the actual website itself or the Discord, all that is really, like classified ads, and they might have some tools too, but the actual delegation happens on chain, right? And why I say that is because I want everybody to understand when you delegate your coins, what that means is you still hold the keys. So if you delegate your coins to a validator, say, hey, I want to stake my coins, can you run them for me? And then I'll give you some commission. You keep your keys. Your keys are yours. The validator never touches your keys. Okay. And so that's really important. By the way, and if any validator asks for your keys, please let us know. Validator should never ask for your keys. Okay. And if they need to help, if they're just trying to help you get set up, then that depends on your trust level with them. But we would suggest learning how to delegate yourself, and we'll provide instructions on that. So don't give validators your keys. Just like every crypto lesson you've ever learned, keep your keys to yourself. You don't need to give away your keys to validate. Okay, I'll move to the next question. How can we choose what validator to stake at? So what Solana has basically a website where you can see the performance of all the validators, and you can choose which one to go off of. Solana also has a Stakeomatic tool, which I don't think we're going to implement. It's more suited to an IEO, really, and that's where they have their KYC as well. We don't really need that. So we're going to produce a website with metrics where you can go on with the metrics, and you'll be able to see the performance of the validators. Based off of that, you can make your decision on which one to go with. Again, there's no risk, right? There's no risk. The validator cannot steal your funds as long as you don't give them your keys. So there's no risk in choosing a validator. If they underperform, you can switch to a new validator, and it's a free market economy. So you'll be able to see the performance of the validators. You'll be able to see their track record, and from that you can decide who to delegate with. But we do of course ask that people respect decentralization. Something we see with pools is everybody jumps on one pool and becomes an issue. This is set up a little bit differently. No one validator is going to be able to do all the staking, so keep that in mind. Okay. Samuel, what about listings on a platform like KuCoin or Binance? When Binance? The most important question. I won't put a lot of time into this answer, and it's an important question, Samuel. The only reason I won't put a lot of time to it is because I've got to talk about the validators. Generally, we're going to be increasing our marketing substantially. Now, do keep in mind that we are actually, we produce exchange products. We produce very good exchange products, and we're proud of our brand, and our brand is growing. And obviously, the release of this DEX is going to be our greatest exchange accomplishment in our 3-year history. So in that sense, we're unlike other coins, we are very much self-sustaining there. Now, I won't lie to you, KuCoin is a great exchange to be on. Binance is also a great exchange to be on. And we hope to be on there. So definitely we do everything we can. But we're very proud of our own growing exchange offerings. We hope to someday compete with KuCoin and Binance. Mads, Solana or Solflare have a wallet in which you can pick a validator. Will such a list be provided for people who want to stake? Yes. Now we're not going to be using Soulflare, but we're going to offer that same list. And yeah, I think your question is similar to the previous one. It's like, how do you know which validator to go with? So we're going to be providing performance metrics on the validators, so you can pick them. And obviously we're going to be developing our own wallet offerings as well. This does all start off with command line and compile. That's where we're at today, right? We're command line and compile. We're going to keep, and Solana started off that way as well. We're going to keep advancing, and in a very short period of time, all of this is going to be point click. Does a validator have a maximum of safe coins to stake? So Mads, this is a really good point. We discussed this in our team meeting as well. Right now it doesn't, but we may introduce one. If we start to see centralization of where the delegations are happening, if all the delegations are going to one validator, I don't think that's going to be an issue actually, but if it is, then we're going to introduce maximums for sure. Alrighty, next question. Sia, when we move further towards ledger integration, yes, that's a good point. We're going to be doing ledger integration, or Trezor, probably ledger. We'll be able to delegate from the ledger. Yes, definitely. So Ledger has this with Solana right now. So it's something you can actually do now. We just haven't packaged it for users yet, and we're going to be packaging that shortly. You can use a Ledger to do your delegations. So it's a pretty nice integration, and we're going to be offering it. So you can literally have your coins tucked away safely in a Ledger and have them delegated and earning for you. And we prefer that. We prefer if the store value is kept offline, if possible. Oh, Kevin, I appreciate everything you did. You've already given me a lot of pointers, so hopefully this AMA is better than the last one. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next AMA. It's going to be a real pleasure to have Kevin back in the fold, and I'm excited for it. Mr. Coins, when we delegate our stake to a validator, how long is the warm-up process? How long before the delegated stake will be eligible to earn rewards? Not long. I'm expecting it'll probably be within one epoch, and we are testing that right now. So we do have a staking validator in testing right now, and we are waiting for it to be activated. So we'll need to complete the testing on that, but we think within an epoch you'll be able to stake or earlier. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an answer to your question. We are still actively testing things, so I need to be a little bit careful what I promise. But that much I can safely say at this time, and we'll have more on that very soon. Crypto Gamer, will stake rewards get auto-delegated? Yes, they will, I think. We're still doing testing on that. From what I've seen so far, yeah, they get auto-delegated. But it depends on how you're set up. So definitely it's possible to do. And that's a really important question, really, when you think of, anybody who's been in masternodes knows the trick of making sure that you compound your interest. And we want that as well. We want as much Safecoin delegated as possible. So the short answer is yes. It is early days on that though, so definitely keep your eye on it. But yes. Timec MM. Will be needed meeting to set up keys like Solana does? No meeting to set up keys. So Solana does something called Stakeomatic, and what they're doing essentially is they are using the they're using their IEO money to stake over to other validators, and then they want you to KYC for that. We're not set up like that at all. Now, if we ever do anything involving Stakeomatic, it's not going to be with KYC. So we just don't do KYC here. And the reason we're not doing KYC is because we don't have to. Because Safecoin is a fair launch project, the rules are different. So there's just no need to be doing the staking when the distributed ledger is decentralized like ours is and is fair launch. So all of a sudden, when you have that, and there's no sales of any kind, there's not been an IEO, there's not been an ICO, there's no need for KYC. So yeah, no need for sign up or KYC. Cripple 1289. Binance should come in time. That's right. We look forward to CZ. Oh, this is just a general statement. No, I completely agree with you. Yes. And we're also very proud of our decentralized exchange that we're building, and we're proud of SafeTrade as well. And we think that that's really a fantastic ecosystem for our project and other projects to grow out of. Thank you. No, I completely agree with you. Yeah. I've caught up on questions, I think. I'm going to stop talking for a second if people want to think about more questions. I got lots of stuff to say otherwise, but I'll let you guys think of some questions if you like. Okay. Well, pretty soon here, what we're going to be doing is releasing the instructions for the validators. So this is kind of the heart of what we're talking about today, is these instructions. And we're very excited about it. It's kind of our first go at it. And we're going to be continuing to work with all of you on building a strong validator network. Oh, question. Yeah, we'll be working with all of you to build up a strong validator network in the coming weeks. There's going to be a lot going on, and I'd really appreciate your feedback on it. We want to actually build up a bit of a validator community, right? So the validators are somewhat competing with each other, but they're also helping each other, right? Like, what's the best thing for you is that all the validators are doing well. So they are really helping each other. It is a bit of a community, and we want to really build that up. And also, we want to be there to contribute to Solana as well, right? Like, this is not a hostile fork. So this is just the start, is getting these first validators started, your little part of history, and from there it's going to grow. Okay, I'm going to get to these questions. How will web wallet coin holders become validators? So, really good question. At this very early stage, well, actually, no. I can answer it. Now, there's two things, right? You can either become a validator or you can become a delegator. Eventually, the web wallet will have features where you can delegate it right out of it. However, if you want to be a validator, you would have to move to a Linux box, basically. Or it can also be done on a Mac, apparently. On OS X, not many people have tried, even in Solana. So, I mean, almost everybody doing this is running off Ubuntu. To be completely honest, Ubuntu is kind of the go-to OS for this, or some form of Linux, potentially OS X. So what you're doing is on the web wallet, there's a seed, right? You've got your seed. You take that seed, which you should have stored somewhere safe. and you can actually create a key. So we're going to give you instructions on how to, actually, no, there's a better way. I'm sorry. We're going to give you instructions on how to set up your validator. So you're going to go ahead and set up your validator. At some point in the setup process, it's going to ask you to send some coins to the validator. At that point, you go to your web wallet and you'd send those coins over. That's probably the much safer way to do it. So what you set up on Ubuntu is going to have wallets on it, and you will send the funds to your Ubuntu wallet. In a later process, it's going to get into delegation, and this is where you start delegating all your funds. Now, for that, that's a little bit more complex, and for that, you would have to send all your funds onto the Ubuntu box in order to do the delegation at this stage. Having said that, once the delegation's done, you can send them back to the web wallet. And we're going to have the ability to delegate out of the web wallet soon. Okay, now there's lots of questions, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Will there be any software or web to show performance of the validators, or every app validators have to create own web page with statistics like pools have? Fantastic question, Timek. You will not have to create your own web page, although you're welcome to. So we will be providing a statistics page of all validators and their performance. Now, it's something you can actually do. You can actually type commands into your validator to find out how the other validators are doing. But we are going to be providing a metrics page, which gives all that information. The metrics page itself is not completely set up yet, but it is going to be available soon, and you will be able to get all that information through that. So we're going to try to provide all that same kind of information that Solana has, so that the validators can run successfully. Can you make an announcement with all the steps when a noob like me, what to read, where to ask help, what to install, where to choose validators, what to ask for more info? Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds, now correct me if I'm wrong, the announcement you're going to see coming out today, you're going to see an announcement coming out about how to start the validators, how to run those validators. Very shortly after that, like in the next couple of days, you're going to see an announcement for delegation. Now, you're welcome to run a validator. I think what you're asking me is you're asking me, hey, Jeff, how do I delegate? So we will provide some very simple instructions and tools for that. And so the two things you're going to need, and we're going to give you all this information for sure. You're going to need to see how the validators are performing so you can choose a validator, unless you got a buddy who you want to trust with it. And then you need instructions on how to safely delegate. So we'll provide you that, and we'll make it really clear in the instructions, again, that you're not giving away your keys to the validator. You do the delegation, but you keep your keys, you keep your crypto. Oh, and do not just say Discord. Yeah, don't worry. You'll see. Now you're just slightly ahead of us, only by a day or two. But you'll see when we do the validator announcement, you're going to see a blog. You're going to see a Medium article, and it's eventually going to make its way to a documentation platform we've built. So no, I completely agree with you. This can't be, just Discord or one platform. This is going to be web-based. Our instructions are going to be web-based. They're going to be in Discord as well. We have a strong Discord user base, and you're always going to be able to find information in there. But we're going to keep this information web-based so that anybody can view it. And we've set up a documentation platform for this. We've set up blogs. We've set up Medium articles. And I have to publicly thank Mafatness, actually, from our team, who's done an incredible job putting a lot of that together. And allowed us to be prepared for this AMA. Like this AMA is, I think it's going quite successfully. And the reason is because I'm relaxed, because I know we have all the instructions. So thank you, Mafatness, for that. Yes, yeah. So you can send the coins back, and that'll. We'll definitely do instructions for that. It's a little. I got to be careful what I say, but yeah, you won't have to. Let me put it this way. So Kevin, you won't have to leave. I have to be careful on how I say it until the instructions are out. You won't have to leave your coins on the validator. So the delegation will not require you to leave your coins on that validator indefinitely. So hopefully that kind of answers that. Yes, yeah, an FAQ page would be huge. And so much about this is just providing information and making things clear for people. So please bear with us. Like this is a vastly complex blockchain, but our single goal here is to make this accessible for people. You know, we want to make this accessible to people where it's not accessible with Solana. Give everybody a chance to use Solana technology, and that's really what we're about. But please bear with us because it's a lot of work. Thanks. Thank you. Timex, what is the minimum time to hold coins in Validator to start receiving reward? Okay, good question, Timex. Timex asking, what's the minimum time to hold the coins in a Validator before you start earning rewards? Now, one thing I would just for clarity, the coins are not actually held by the validator, and why that's important is just so people understand that they still own their coins and they still control their coins. And that's just I just want to make everybody clear on that aspect. So the validator does not really hold coins except maybe 10 safe, just enough for registration. That's it. So the validator in general does not hold the coins. But to more directly answer your question, it happens within an epoch. And we're still doing testing on this to give you exact amounts, but it does happen within an epoch, and an epoch is a 3-day period. We do believe it's going to be less than that. But the exact time periods and stuff will be coming out shortly. So you'll see the validator setup instructions come out today. People can get their validators set up, get used to running on the network, and then in the next step, we'll give the delegation instructions, and then that will be clear on the rewards. So the delegation and reward instructions will be coming out within the next 1 to 3 days. Yeah, absolutely. No, great questions. And yeah, and all the instructions will be online. You're right. Okay, so we are at that 10-minute mark. Malfatness, if you're in there, would you be able to release some of the instructions? Da, da, da. Instructions are on YouTube. Thank you, Malfatness. Really appreciate it. Mads, really good question. So you've asked a question about environmental friendliness. Um, I have to be careful what I say because I actually come from one of the oil capitals of the world. But so obviously, the new Safecoin is far more environmentally friendly. Proof of work uses a tremendous amount of electricity, which still the majority of that electricity does come from coal. Not all of it, but a lot of it comes from coal. It uses a tremendous amount of energy and far more than is needed. Proof of stake has gotten to the point where proof of stake actually does consensus better than proof of work. It's taken many, many years for proof of stake to get to this point. And how Solana's managed that is they've coupled traditional proof of stake with proof of history. And so, yes, the validators do use more computing power than an average Bitcoin node, for instance. But in terms of the energy produced to run Safecoin, it's negligible. So the new Safecoin is far more environmentally friendly and just far more efficient at what it does. And the nice thing is we can say that, but it's also better at it. It's faster, it's more powerful, and yet it uses a lot less energy. So yeah, thank you for that that lead-in question. It's something we are very proud of, and it makes a big difference. I think that's really where the future of crypto is headed. So you guys can see the instructions there. They are in the video chat. I tried last time to do like a screenshot and I failed miserably. So I'm probably not going to attempt that in today's YouTube session. We are going to get, better. Doing this many YouTube videos is kind of a new platform for us. So we're going to get better at it. We've got Kevin. He's fantastic. So thank you, Kevin. But if you guys click on that link's going to be available on our webs. Now, of course, give us a chance to set it up, but that link's going to be available, yes, in Discord, also on our website, in Medium. It's going to be available on many different platforms. You're going to see it on Twitter. And just have a look through that. And if you'd like to set up a validator, give it a go. Talk to us. We'll work through stuff with you. It's a big deal setting up validators. They are more complex than others. Now, we're going to simplify it over time. We're eventually going to Dockerize it and provide simple scripts. This particular instruction set is the raw instruction set, right? This is for, I wouldn't say it's for more technical users, for sure. And we're going to keep simplifying it for people. We want to get it to a very accessible point. But I think this is a fantastic starting point. It allows us to open up that discussion. Now, please note that in our Discord, we have a hashtag validators channel. Now that's, you're free to contact us any way you like, but that is a great way to discuss the setting up of your validators, any issues you encounter, and we're going to work with you to get those solved. We'd really like to build up our network over these next few days, get a lot of validators online. And what we're working on right now, we're working on two things. One is we are working on the next set of instructions, which is the rewards. We want those out fairly quickly. And, we've already kind of explained, you're looking at 6,500 safe coins being produced per day, split across all the validators and delegators. So if you're looking at setting up a validator, those are the instructions for you. If you're looking at delegating, give it another day, and that will be out in a separate set of instructions. Yeah, Kevin, that's absolutely right. I really love the diversity on our team. It's and I've kind of grown to you kind of grow to eventually have more of a respect for the skill sets of everybody else, because everybody's got a different skill set. Actually, yeah, I was just realizing my fatness is fantastic at instructions and graphics, and of course, anything video streaming, we go to Kevin. So you guys are going to be seeing some vast improvements in our video streaming and broadcasting in the near future, and we're really excited about that. But yeah, we have like a vast array of skill sets on our team, and yeah, everybody's skill sets are different. So I promised some people I would keep this video under 50 minutes. It's 55 minutes now, but I'm just going to stop. Does anybody, before we go, does anybody have any more questions that we can help answer right now? Yeah, Tyvek, right now, those instructions you see there are for IPv4. So yes, those validator instructions are for IPv4. But we do hope to put out IPv6 instructions. So, the thing we got to figure out with IPv6 is they currently use both TCP and UDP connections across ports 10,000 to 12,000. So it's going to require, a little bit of modification to get that working on IPv6. But we'd really like it to. We think, we're very, very supportive of the IPv6 network, and that's something we want to have in the near future. Yeah, you can have 2 validators on one IPv4. I mean, we don't encourage it, but if you've got enough network computing resources, 2 validators will run on a single IPv4. The only comment on running 2 validators on the same IPv4 is you want to have different RPC ports. So the standard RPC port is 8328. So all you would do is the second validator, you would change the RPC port to something like 8338 or something like that. Any other questions? Guys, thank you so much for your time and your interest. I really appreciate it. I love what we're doing here, and I love being part of this. It's kind of an honor to be part of this community. You guys are just amazing. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, IPv6 is a little tricky, but we definitely want to support it. It's important. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the most important thing about this project is our community, and that's really where everything starts and ends. I'm excited as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up this YouTube video here. Hopefully, you guys just did a fantastic job with your questions. Kevin helped me out with the video. Thank you, Kevin. And I think hopefully this video will be helpful for a lot of people in the coming weeks as they start to set up their validators. And of course, you can reach us in Discord, Telegram, anywhere you like. We're always happy to chat with you. We're very alive and responsive. Yes, and eventually we will be doing live streaming out of SafeChat. It needs a little bit of touch-ups. So right now, just so you know, our team meetings are always in SafeChat, so you can catch those often an hour ahead of video stream. And eventually, yes, we will be doing live AMAs out of SafeChat. There's just a couple little technical issues we're going to fix up before we move to that. So anyway. Oh, yes. Please like, subscribe. I'm not good at this YouTube stuff, but all that. Like, subscribe. One last question. Can't a validator choose as many coins as he wants? Why to choose to make validators with your coins instead of one bigger one? So those are little things we'll work through. That's to do with decentralization, right? If the network only has one validator, it's bad. Now, we find typically in the crypto community that people want good things for the chain, so they tend to split up their funds and try to even things out. And if that's not happening, if we see that one validator's got all the stake, then we're going to introduce some limits on it. I mean, Oh yeah, you can do 2 validators. That's fine, as long as you got the resources for it, because that still offers a certain degree of decentralization, right? If one seg faults on you, then at least you got another one running. So we still count that as decentralized to some extent. We of course prefer if it's a different person running each validator, but it's still decentralization. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic Sunday and stay safe.